Okay, guys, we're looking at this problem right here regarding circles, all right? And automatically, when I see something about circles, right? When I see something about circles, I want to write down the equation of a circle, all right? And so the equation of a circle, I don't know if they give this to you on the SAT test, but it's definitely good to memorize this, all right? So it is x minus h squared, right? If I had a circle with the center of h and k, right? If the center was h k, alright, this would be the equation for it. X minus h squared, right, the quantity of x minus h squared, plus the quantity of y minus k squared is equal to r squared, which is the radius of the circle. Alright, so now that we've written this little, let me box this in for you guys. Sort of write this down if you're on your notes if you don't already know this, but alright, now it says, which of the following is an equation of a circle in the xy plane with a center of 0, 4 and a radius with an endpoint of 4 over 3 and 5, alright? So first things first, let's focus on the center, alright? So the center is 0 and 4, so we can plug that in, alright? If we have a center hk, we can plug that in. So it's x minus 0, which is just x, so x squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to the radius squared, alright? So before we move any further, let's start crossing some things out, alright? So we can cross out y plus 4, right? Because that doesn't fit our constraints so far. We can cross out this one right here, alright? Because it doesn't fit our constraints, alright? So we're left with two answers left, alright? We have x squared plus the quantity of y minus 4 squared is equal to 25 over 9, or we have x squared plus the quantity of y minus 4 squared is equal to 5 over 3, all right? And so the defining factor on how we separate these two is we have to find the distance between the center and this endpoint, right? That's the radius, the center to the endpoint, all right? And you also have to memorize your distance formula, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and write the distance formula down at the end of this video, but I'll just write it down right now, all right? So let's box off something for the distance formula. So the distance formula is the square root of y1 or y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared, right? So if you're trying to find the distance between x2 or x2 xy, if you're trying to find the distance between x2 y2 and x1 and y1, that is how you find, that's the distance formula right there, all right? And so our y2 right here is going to be our center, okay? So we're going to have our center 4. Our y1 is going to be the 5. So we have minus 5. We're going to square this plus, all right, our x2 is going to be the 0. 0 minus, all right, minus 4 over 3. All right, squared. So 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. And then 0 minus 4 over 3 is negative 4 over 3. That squared is 16 over 9. Okay? And wait, by the way, it's the square root of this, alright? The square root. Don't forget that. Square root of this. So 1 plus 16 over 9, well, 1 is just 9 over 9. So 9 over 9 plus 16 over 9 is 25 over 9. Alright, this is where you might get confused, right? If you forget the square root, you may be tempted to make this answer right here. But remember to square root it, and once we square root it, it's going to be 5 over 3. Alright? So that is how you solve equations with circles, right? First thing you want to do is write down the equation for a circle, right? Write down the equation for a circle, and if you need the distance formula, right? Not all circle questions will require the distance formula, but if it does, then you're definitely going to want to write this down, all right? But anyways, while you're studying, just memorize these things up, and I think you guys would be good for these circle questions, all right? So definitely we'll have some practice on Mathtivity with regarding circles. And go ahead, and I hope you guys found this video useful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.